Welcome to the first video in our Coaches Training Session series. In this series we're going to be documenting some of the training that's required to compete in high-level gymnastics competition as John contemplates making a possible comeback and I hang around to provide motivational and moral support. To start off today's session, we first work on some basic handstand balancing work on the parallettes. We're working on quarter turns forward and back, and then quarter half quarters, both forward and reverse. This movement coming up is a perfect example of why we play around on the low ground bars while warming up these movements. One of the key elements to getting these movements fluid and consistent is to do them with nice open shoulders. However, closing the shoulders instinctually makes them feel safer and more stable. The trick to overcome this tendency is lots and lots of repetition. In this next example, you can see John close the shoulders down to save the movement.
Go, 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 go. Ah, good one.
Nice. In this next one, I'm spotting the movement by gently helping to move the legs over the center of mass, which helps John get into the exact right position and helps him feel out the positions required. After doing about 20 of these movements, I finally get one of them right.
Yes, he's done one.
I'm calling that a win for today.
This one messes me up in the front one as well.
Yeah, the reverse turn. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Next we decide to move on to some high bar work.
If the mats are okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind chucking a flyaway. For me, it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've done anything more than a few swings on a high bar, so this will make for an interesting session that hopefully doesn't end with me tearing my hands to shreds. Here John is warming up with some giant swings, which is the basic linking movement that all high bar routines are built around. Next we move on to some blind change turns. This move is called a blind change because you don't actually look at the bar as you turn. For me, I'm just hoping that my body remembers what to do because my brain is not that confident.
You've just upped the game.
Oh, I didn't mean to go over that one.
I think that last little accident has motivated John to push things a little bit further than he intended to.
Nice.
And now I guess it's my turn to try and at least get somewhere close. This next move is called an endo. It's normally performed as a straddle to handstand with a top change over the top. But John obviously has already pushed himself a bit further than he wanted to, so he's going to leave it at that for today. Next we move on to the air track to do some basic tumbling. One of the key elements in this process is starting softly, feeling out the movements and listening to the feedback your body gives you, and trying to determine what can be ignored and what needs more attention. At the end of the day, you don't want to let your inner demons dictate what you do, because most of the time they'll tell you just to stay in bed or sit on the couch and scroll through your phone. This next move, a side salt, I didn't start working until later in my gymnastics career as more of a play element. It's also been over 20 years since I've done one of these.
Is this you're hesitating a little bit. If you commit a bit more, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
But it's like you're pulling into it,
Because
holding a little bit back.
for some reason my brain isn't quite as comfortable with this.
Yeah, if you just see it a bit more, it'll be perfectly.
After making my excuses, I applied John's coaching tips, and it works out. John here is demonstrating some basic one-handle work on the mushroom. I'm tapping out of this one, as pommel and mushroom, specifically pommel work, will require a bit more specific conditioning to reduce the risk of injury. At least that's my excuse for today. John's goal for today was to try and get 10 circles in a row on that one handle.
Yes!
Nice work. Now we're going to finish off on the trampolines. I've been recently dreaming of doing a double back on tramp again, and it's been about 25 years, so it's probably way overdue. To get me in the zone, John decides to chuck one. No mats, no nothing. Show off.
Nice.
Alright, I've seen enough. I'm pretty sure my body remembers how to do this. We finish off with a few more just to make sure it's not a fluke. Next week, maybe a triple back. Or maybe just on the tramp without the mats first.